Have you discovered any sinfluencers? They're hard to find. They keep being cancelled and deplatformed. Sinfluencers encourage sin. They want you to sin, to seek out sin, to indulge in sin, to cultivate it. Aren't you fed up being a goody two-shoes? Aren't you bored with virtue? Isn't it time to be wicked? Nietzsche called himself the first immoralist. That's a sinfluencer right there. Nietzsche also styled himself the Antichrist. That's the ultimate ambition of all sinfluencers, to change the world through sin. To conquer the slaves of God. You know, those cringy people who kneel and bow, who cross themselves or hold their palms up to the heavens, or touch their foreheads, or whatever. Don't those people nauseate you? So pious and pompous. So self-righteous. So performative. Why does their all-seeing God have to see them ostentatiously worship him? Why is God even interested in worship? Would you get turned on by seeing billions of ants worshiping you? How can creatures infinitely inferior to God touch his thoughts in any way? Do you give any thought to the microbes in your gut? An age of sin would be a more honest age. Let it all hang out. Become a sinner. Liberate yourself. Nietzsche said, to be ashamed of one's immorality is a step on the ladder at the end of which one is ashamed also of one's morality. Don't be ashamed of your immorality. Embrace it. Sin sets you free. Sin is exciting like nothing else. It's, transgressive. It shatters all taboos. It's pure iconoclasm. Nietzsche said, when man no longer regards himself as evil, he ceases to be so. Ain't that the truth? Have you never worked out who got to define sin and evil? Why them and not someone else? Who gave them the job of defining morality? Nietzsche, such a brilliant sinfluencer, showed that morality was just a game of manipulation played by people seeking power over others. Nietzsche said, examine the lives of the best and most fruitful men and peoples, and ask yourselves whether a tree, if it is to grow proudly into the sky, can do without bad weather and storms. Whether unkindness and opposition from without, whether some sort of hatred, envy, obstinacy, mistrust, severity, greed and violence do not belong to the favoring circumstances without which a great increase even in virtue is hardly possible. The poison which destroys the weaker nature strengthens the stronger, and he does not call it poison, either. Don't you want to live in a much stronger, healthier world? How will you do so without sin? Nietzsche said, morality is the herd instinct in the individual. Don't you want to be more than a herdling? Don't you want to be autonomous? How will you accomplish that without sin? Sin for salvation. Join the sinners. It's time for Sinageddon, the sinflagration, the sinocalypse. Light it up with the most electric, incendiary sins. You know you want to. The syndrome is here. It's all about synthesis.